Which nation is leading the race in military innovation and threatening to shift the global power landscape?
It wants to be at the cutting edge, defend itself, and have technological self-sufficiency.
We're looking at China, which has its sights on hypersonics, AI, and even space.
China has the ambition of possessing what it defines as world-class armed forces by the latter part of this decade.
And that coincides with the centenary of the foundation of the People's Liberation Army. But why and how? Well, to unpack this, I have the help of Dr. James Bosbotinis.
I am a freelance specialist in defence and international affairs, focusing on particularly aerospace and naval and maritime warfare.
But before we tap into his expertise, let's consider the century of humiliation, a period from the mid-19th to mid-20th century when China fell behind other global powers in technology and was subject to foreign influence. That is a driving factor for China, which is determined to ensure it never happens again. So what does this look like in practice? Well, China's investing big time in military tech. Let's start with China's naval power. It's seen unprecedented growth. Beijing has focused on expanding its fleet and wants to establish itself as a dominant force.
Looking at the development over the past 10 years, you've seen China introduce the ex-Soviet aircraft carrier Liaoning into service. It now has the Liaoning and its sister ship, a derivative of that design, the Shandong, in service and operating the latest variant of the J-15, the J-15B. China has launched and has undersea trials the first of its catapult-equipped aircraft carriers for Fujian, the largest aircraft carrier built outside of the United States.
We can't go into all the details of China's naval fleet here, but we do have to mention its submarines.
The aforementioned Type 96 next-generation ballistic missile submarine, a similar new nuclear-powered attack submarine, the Type 95, is believed to be under development. It's launching an improved variant of the Type 93, the Type 93B, which reportedly incorporates a vertical launch system for land attack missiles.
So big strides in the sea, but what about air power? Another area in which China has invested heavily, developing advanced fighter jets and drones. The importance of air superiority isn't lost on Beijing.
They operate the second largest fleet of fifth-generation fighters, centred currently on the J-20 outside of the United States, with over 200 J-20s now believed to be in service. They are developing new fifth-generation aircraft, the J-35. China is also developing, as I mentioned, the H-20. The United States has suggested China is also developing a regional advanced bomber. It's developing a plethora of uncrewed air systems from the tactical through to the strategic.
So China's commitment to leading the way is becoming clear, but perhaps one of its most significant breakthroughs in military technology has been the development of hypersonic weapons. One in particular, the DF-17, can travel at speeds over Mach 5, making it incredibly hard to detect and intercept. And with a range of around 1,500 to 2,500 kilometers, it can target US bases and allied facilities in the Indo-Pacific region.
China has perhaps the most advanced deployed hypersonic weapons capability, considering the DF-17, the YJ-21, potentially a hypersonic glide vehicle payload for the DF-26, and a long-range ballistic missile called the DF-27, as well as its potential hypersonic cruise missile capabilities. Of course, much of China's progress in this area is classified.
So that does make it hard to know exactly what is going on, but the PLA is believed to be ramping up in the nuclear sphere too. It's now believed to have more than 500 warheads and is on track to exceed 1,000 by 2030. And space isn't being forgotten about either. China's been ramping up its investments in space-based military capabilities.
From the Chinese perspective, their most likely high-end adversary would be the United States. When your adversary depends substantially on space for its advanced military capabilities, just precision navigation and targeting, for example, you would want to hold at risk that capability.
So as China expands its military capabilities, global power dynamics are shifting, and the rest of the world has to work out how to respond. Claire Sadler, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.